my first show of the new year. What's going on, everybody, here on Facebook Live? Yours truly, Mike Marino. Welcome to the first episode of Live from My Mother's Basement here in 2021. Let me say, I hope everybody had a wonderful time last night, wherever you are around the world, going out or maybe staying home, practicing safe and social distancing and all that great stuff with your mask. I hope that went on and you're happy and you're okay and everybody's going to be fine. I was actually lucky enough to be entertaining last night at one of my favorite comedy clubs in the world, Vasani's Comedy Theater here in Punta Gorda, Florida. So much like what I was doing last year when I was actually lucky enough to go out on tour. I was on tour last night and the night before, bringing in the new year with some great new comedy that I was practicing and rehearsing live in front of 150 people at 6 o'clock, another 150 people at 9:30. Then I brought in the new year and sold a bunch of shirts and a bunch of masks, and I relaxed all day today, went to some of my favorite restaurants here in Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte, and so far, so good. I had to do my podcast tonight where I wanted to. So here I am in my hotel room. I brought my sign with me, which I think that's hilarious. I actually took my sign and put it on a picture on the wall here in the hotel room. It's a nice little suite. I got a beautiful hotel room. I don't even know the name of this hotel, but the pool is on the roof. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner out there. Everybody got their mask. Well, here in Florida, not that many people have masks on. It's kind of strange. You know, you walk in with the mask on, but then they take it off. But this is Florida, so things are a lot different here. Thank you, everybody, for writing in so far here on Instagram and everybody who's saying hello right now. The first day of January in the year 2021. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't have 100% of my voice because we were screaming last night at the top of our lungs because it was Happy New Year. And while I was cracking jokes, people were blowing their horns and spinning those noisemakers. And the confetti was jumping all over the place, of course, and the balloons were popping. So my voice was going. Lewis, it's nice to see you. Cliff, my best friend over there. I hope you're enjoying living out here in Florida. Florida is really, really great. It was 75 degrees here today. I drove up and down the coast. I went to go see a friend of mine. His name is Michael Wheels Parisi, one of the funniest comedians in the country. And he's here with his family now. He moved from Los Angeles to Vegas to Florida, and this is where he's going to live the rest of his life. You're Italian, talk with yourself, hands like the rest of us. Does this make you happy, Tony? Do you feel better now? Okay, I'm also talking on the radio, so when you talk on the radio, they can't see your hands. And but I hope you had a good time. Happy New Year to you. Magdalena, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see everybody writing into the show this fast, and I thank you so much. We'll do a little question and answer in a little while. I know there's a lot of people who are watching the show right now that were at the live event last night, which is really, really great. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Pam. Happy New Year, Mike, Helen, Sandra, Cliff Yates, and Happy New Year, Tony. Here's more hand shit for you. You know, it's funny, when my mother used to speak, if she was in a bad mood, you know how she spoke with her hands? She went like this. I don't know what happened, but I just got blurry. Did you guys see that? I just got blurry for some reason. Oh, but there it is. There it is. Obviously, I don't have a guest here in my hotel room. One of my fellow comedians couldn't make it. I wanted him to come on the show. And like I said just a few seconds ago, his name is Michael Wheels Parisi, one of the funniest stand-up comedians in the industry today. Helped me a lot through the years, back in the day when we were cutting our teeth as comedians at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. He made an incredible dinner today with these big spaghetti noodles and this most incredible sauce. It was absolutely delicious. We had a lot of fun. We went over some memories, and then we talked about what are we going to do for the new year 2021. Right now I got a little heartburn because I shouldn't have been eating the sauce and drinking the wine. Wine and sauce actually gives me major heartburn, and that's a sign of when you're getting older. Hey, talk to the manager. Okay, the manager of what? I love when people ask me questions, but they don't actually get very specific. Happy New Year, hon. Happy New Year, Janet Salvo. You know, Janet, they're doing this whole big documentary on the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and it makes you wonder sometimes. They've been using a lot of the comedians that are there today, but what about the comedians who started there back in the early 70s, and some of the comedians who went there through the 80s, and of course the 90s, like we did, into the 2000s, like what's going on now. And unfortunately, now the club's not even open. So doing a documentary about the past would be proper right now, and I think that would be a great idea. If you guys are watching it, the history of the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, California is fantastic. You're talking about the most famous comedy club worldwide. Millions of people have passed through there. It's like the college for stand-up comedians. I found out in Florida here today, this Punta Gorda area is where Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus started, and they actually had a class out here for clowns. It was like a clown school. So I never went to a clown school because I don't wear the makeup and I don't wear those big fat shoes. But supposedly, this is the area where they started that clown school, not too far from where I am in my hotel, down the road a little bit. I thought that was really, really interesting because I remember there was a clown school. I remember hearing about it, but I never saw it, and I guess I drove by it sometime today. There's a lot of talk, of course. Everybody's watching now what's going to happen with the actual vaccine. More and more people are passing away, and a lot more people are actually getting the vaccine. And then they say that there's the new strand, new strain, new this, new that. If it's not one thing, it's another. This is just really ridiculous. And I was just wondering, what exactly are we going to do when it comes to not just the frontline workers and not, of course, the firemen, the policemen, and all the politicians, but what's going to happen when we're the regular people are offered the vaccine? Are you going to run? Are you going to take it? Are you going to say it works like crazy? Or are you going to be a comedian, take it in the arm and say, hey, I feel better? Because I know that's exactly what I would do. I want to do a shout out to my friend Marklin, Mr. Direct, Just Real Johnson, who's watching the show right now. Hey, Marklin, Happy New Year, man. Hope you had a great time, whatever you did last night. And yeah, Crown College is in Sarasota. Okay, Rocco, I was staying corrected. Sarasota, Florida is about maybe 15 minutes from here. And when I went down there, they were talking about the Clown College. And yes, I guess somebody's writing in saying, get the vaccine, get the vaccine. It's something that you should do. And I definitely will, because I want to go back to the way things were. Right now, to perform last night and the night before was like a gift from the heaven above. I couldn't wait to get on stage. I had the opportunity to rehearse all kinds of new jokes that I wanted to talk about. I sold a lot of shirts that said Marino 2024. I sold my tracksuits, the sweatpants, the hoodies, the masks. I really do sell all this stuff. And there was a big discount. Everybody got 20% off online. You go to mikemarino.net, you can get 20% off. Well, I think the sale ended yesterday because now here we are in the brand new year. So if anybody still wants to go to the website and go to mikemarino.net, you could subscribe, and you could also see if there's some merchandise that you wanted to buy. And I thought that was just so fantastic that I had the opportunity to do what we did last night and make all those people forget about this pandemic bullshit at least for 2 hours. Because we laughed, we joked, we had a lot of fun. People were yelling and screaming and saying they couldn't wait to come back and see another show. And you know, sometimes it makes me think that maybe comedians should be essential workers because we make people forget about life for a little while. Like they say in the Billy Joel song, to make people forget about life for a while, if you remember. Thank you, Dora. Dora sent me some great wine, and next week when I'm in the house, we'll drink that wine on the show at the bar. Robert Catalano just said hello, Happy New Year to you. One of my biggest sponsors of the year 2020 was Regina's Pizza in Akron, Ohio. I don't have any notes on me. I'm just sitting in my room chit-chatting. But Robert Catalano stepped up to the plate 1 to 3 times with some nice, let's say, cash that comes when you get a nice endorsement from a great slice of pizza from Regina's Pizza in Akron, Ohio. Now I'm going to start to forget about all this stuff, but Regina's Pizza in Ohio. Look him up on the internet. We'll talk about it again next week because I promised him I'm still going to do some commercials and some big shout outs to all my sponsors. This show was just for me to come online, say hello, wish everybody a happy new year. There's my cousin Lucille. It's nice to see you. Suzanne, it's nice to see you. All you people that are writing into the show right now, happy new year. You know, I know everybody's saying we finally got through 2020. Hooray, we got through 2020. Let's hope in the next couple of weeks we don't have to say, man, I can't wait to get through 2021. Let's all get together, hunker down, and say, you know what? Let's be kind to each other. Be nice to each other. It's easy. It's very, very simple. You see somebody near you that's in a bad mood, don't take your cell phone out and start filming. Bless them and walk the fuck away. Stay away from trouble. Trouble only gets you in more trouble. Stay away. This is going to be my rant for today's show. I didn't know what it was going to be, but this will be it. If you notice when people are in a bad mood, that they feel like they're not getting their due, you're not going to help them. Nothing you can say is going to make them want you to chime in. So walk away. Pretend you didn't even see it. Get out of there. I was in the bank the other day, and there was a woman who was very, very angry that she had to wait in line. Well, we all had to wait in line. Everybody had to wait in line. It's what you do. Even when there's not a pandemic, you got to wait in the line. There's a line. The teller can't get you that fast. There's a line. So the security guard was saying you have to step on the red square. She wanted to step on a red square. She wanted to step wherever she wanted to step. Now, if there was no pandemic, if there was no craziness going on, and we were in the state of New Jersey, I, like most people, would have went over to her and just cracked her in the head and said, get the fuck in the line, asshole. But we can't do that anymore because people are nuts. And everybody else, rather than help, would videotape. Oh, here's my opportunity to videotape some bullshit so I can get myself some more viewers. Okay? Viewers are for people who are in the entertainment business, not people who are trying to cause controversy or get other people thrown in jail or watch somebody get beat up. So I politely said to her, you can have my place in line. And everybody stopped talking. No more complaints. She took my place. She checked out. She turned around and said, thank you, and walked out. And I said, have a great day. And everything got done like that. It's not that big of a deal. On my way back to my hotel room, a guy in a big pickup truck. Now, it seems like there's a lot of people out here with big pickup trucks. I don't know why they need these big pickup trucks. There's no traffic. There's no trees that need to be blown over. It's these big pickup, big pickup trucks. Well, it looked like I wasn't going fast enough for this guy, so he decided he needed to jam his car up my ass. But there was a car in front of me, and I couldn't go any further. So I just moved to the right a little bit. He sped up and went around me as fast as he could. And he even looked at me as if he wanted to give me the finger. But lo and behold, 3 minutes later, we're all at the same red light. We're all at the same red light. And he wouldn't look at me. I just waved. Then he hit the gas and sped up as fast as he could. But you see, if you have to win some type of an argument, you can actually win by smiling, because they're going to talk about you all day long. You're going to be the asshole that pissed them off. But what's going to happen is you're going to forget it. You're not going to think about it no more because it doesn't bother you. You don't care. Where if you engaged in the problem, it would bother you the rest of your life. But it won't bother you if you come out of the situation with some kind of sense of humor. They can't beat it. You cannot fight humor. It wins every single time. All right, I'm going to take in one message right now while I'm talking because it's very long. But Pamela Springard Mayer right now is saying to me, I wish more people were straightforward like you. It would be a better world. I love that you make me laugh and don't walk on eggshells. Just say it like it is. Oh, and have Vinny hit him with the bat. Thank you, Pam. I really appreciate you saying that. See, everybody says, well, we have freedom of speech. Okay, yeah, you got freedom of speech. We can all have freedom to give a speech. But you don't really have freedom to be an asshole with your speech. Some people say some stupid shit. And I don't think that's what our forefathers meant. Say what you want, but don't insult people, you know? Okay, Fauci sucks. That's what my cousin wrote in. But hey, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. All I know is, I think if I were the president of the United States, and sometimes I seriously wish I was. I mean, I'm single. I've never been married. I don't have any children. So my responsibility would be the people of the world. And I can take care of it. I wouldn't have to worry about my immediate family. I wouldn't go play golf when the entire world is stressed out of their minds. I wouldn't let anybody see me having a worldwide run of joy while the world is in a panic about what's going to happen next. I would never have a question or questioned or whether I should help people financially or not. I'd say do it immediately. Hurry. Hurry and do it immediately and make sure it's the right amount of money. Because we all know damn well $600 as a stimulus package or $1,000 as a stimulus package don't mean fucking rats. You want to give me $600 a week? Now we're talking. I won't break balls. I'll wear many masks. But if I was president of the United States, I would start saying, hey, listen, maybe we shouldn't be making fun of the president too much like this. It's starting to look really, really bad. Now, you know, in foreign countries, they make fun of the president of their country. They get cut in pieces and thrown over a river. So maybe some of the things that people say to the politicians is a little too much. You know, you want to make fun of somebody on a show, okay, something jolly, something snickering, but some of the late night talk show hosts, some of the comedians, some of the people who guys, it's too much. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know, I get it, we get it, but you're making it worse. When they're giving billions to foreign countries, yes, when they're giving billions of dollars to foreign countries, give it to us. I'll take it. Sometimes it makes you wonder why a billionaire president would want to be president of the United States. If I had $1 billion, I would just be having some fun. I'd probably help other people. There's a lot of joy you can get from helping other people. You figure if you were worth $1 billion, you can give a stimulus package out yourself. You do it. $600 a month. I think you could come up with the money. All right, I'm getting a little bit of a write-in right now. Johnny C., the pizza guy. Well, I can't really do that. Can't really do jokes right now. I'm being serious about what I'm talking about. We're going to go into the jokes in a little while. I'm glad you guys are actually having some fun watching the show. I can't tell you again how happy it made me to go to work last night in front of 300 people. Fasani's Comedy Theater in Punta Gorda is absolutely great. The food was out of control. People were all in a good mood. Nobody was drunk. Nobody was getting whacked. Nobody was doing stupid shit. Laughing, joking, having a good time. There was a lady there who actually had the air tank that she was breathing from. And after about an hour, she had to change it and get a different one. I never in my life had anybody in the audience actually change an air tank while I was performing. And she said she only had 3 minutes to do it. I'm like, what happens if you don't do it in 3 minutes? And then she plugged it in and said, now I'm good for 3 hours. And I said, oh, good, thanks and good night. And I left. So it was a good time over there. I don't have a guest on tonight's show because, like I said, we're practicing social distancing and they weren't allowed to come into the hotel. So I'm doing this show by myself, and here are my notes. What are you giving up? What is your New Year's resolution? So right on in. What are you going to do? What is your New Year's resolution? Now, my New Year's resolution is I'm supposed to stop drinking soda. I love Pepsi. I love ginger ale. I love Coca-Cola. I love Sprite. But supposedly it's really, really bad for me, and it's got me getting fat. I am 208 pounds. My doctor said I should be 180 pounds. I don't know how I'm going to lose all this weight, but I have to do it. Now, I'm Italian. Italian people grew up on pasta. Pasta is very, very heavy and could be fattening. And when do I like to have my pasta the most? When the show's over. When the show's over at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, I like to eat my pasta and go to bed with a nice cup of coffee. Now, I know that's not good, so I should be getting rid of that type of a thing, and I'm going to try my best. I also have to get rid of butter. I love butter. They had butter at Fasani's last night, but it had a garlic in it, and the garlic and the chives. It was so delicious. I had 2 meatballs, a plate of pasta, a steak, and a salad. This is too much, too much, too much. So I got to stop. Now, what am I going to do to stop that? Me personally, if I buy one of those diets, it's only going to work for like 2 weeks. And then I'm going to overeat because I'm not eating enough. It's just not enough. So I think what I'm going to have to do is cut out the carbs as much as I can. But I do love chicken, but I don't eat fish. I'm allergic to seafood. But if I can get rid of the caffeine, if I can get rid of the sodas, I should be okay. Smart balanced butter. Drink hot water with lemon every morning. I don't have a problem shitting. I actually don't, thank God. I had surgery about 8 years ago. Eat but smaller portions. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to try. Love soda, but I lost 70 pounds. All right, Debbie, tell us, how did you lose 7 pounds? Okay, we're getting an email in right now. You guys can ask me some questions. Ask Marino a question right now. Just say, hey, Marino, here's my question, or tell me what you're going to do that's going to be your New Year's resolution. Right now, Debbie's saying she's going to try to stop drinking the Coca-Cola, and she lost 70 pounds, and that's really, really cool, Debbie. I appreciate you saying that. You did an awesome job at Vasani's. See you before on cruise ship a few years back. Well, hey, thank you very much. Okay, I got a little fan letter from the show that I did either last night or the night before at Vasani's. Dimitri, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I was doing cruise ships every month, but that stopped, and hopefully it'll start up again next year. Could you imagine the cruise ship industry is out of business? The cruise ship, there's millions of people out of work. We're not just talking to entertainers. We're talking millions of people. 20 hours minimum. Fasting is the only way, my friend. Giuseppe the MC is one of the funniest comedians out there in Toronto, Canada. And I say that because he's in Toronto, Canada. He plays all around the world. All around the world. Giuseppe, Happy New Year. Man, I miss you, brother. I hope I get to come out to Toronto, Montreal, or wherever it was that we said that we were going to go and get on that stage and make the people laugh. That's one of the reasons why I got so fat, because I'm in the house. I'm not going anywhere. I usually went on stage 5 nights a week somewhere in the world. Try stevia soda, flavored with stevia, not processed sugar. Well, you know what? I'm going to try my best to have water with lemon. But see, the thing with water with lemon, it doesn't quench my thirst. Like I have water right now. It's not quenching my thirst. I want something better. Eat one slice when I have my pizza. I switch from pasta to homemade polenta. 0 Coke is okay. I don't like 0 Coke. Eliminating soda alone, you will lose the weight. Thank you, Kat. For those of you who are listening to me right now on iTunes and Spotify and all your special iPod applications, we're talking to Dora Fortino, who has a winery in Northern California. We're talking Johnny C., the pizza guy, who always eats pizza. We're talking to Hugh Fisher, who's a good friend of mine out in Los Angeles, California, Angela Drum, and also Pamela Springard Mayer. My resolution is to laugh more, appreciate little things more, and walk away from miserable people. Life is too short not to laugh. Okay, now that is one of my favorite things to read right now. It's like I said before. When the world turned into this shithole that it became, and don't say it's not, it did. Something fucking really bad happened. Let's say we'll blame it on the pandemic. The pandemic and the people who are running the country, everybody did some really whacked out shit. The riots in the street, call them what they were, the fires, the destruction. It sucked. So what can you do? I'll be in Fort Lauderdale on Sunday. People, if you want to know where I'm performing, really go to mikemarino.net and you will see the new schedule because I am coming back to Fort Lauderdale. I picked up another show on the Jersey Shore. March 20, I'll be back at the Count Basie. I'm also going to be going to Chicago and Boca Raton. We were talking about this one email about being happy. Look at the people in Australia are writing into the show right now. It's difficult to be happy when there's so much shit going on around you, but did you ever get in the presence of someone who's constantly complaining? It's like a drill. Oh, this is messed up and this is messed up. Did you hear that this is going to happen? And I bet you this is going to happen. And I wonder how bad it's going to be when this is bad and bad. And that's when I actually go like this. Excuse me. Get away from me. Get away from me. You're killing me. You're killing me. You're toxic. I can't be around you no more. Stay away from me. Try it. Try it. That might even help you lose weight because when I get aggravated like that, I go right to the kitchen, I lean against the refrigerator, and I decide, how can I eat myself to another 10 pounds? So thank you very much. My resolution is to cut people who are asses out of my life. That's right, Dora. Coincidentally, I'm wearing my Make America Italian Again t-shirt. Thank you, Hugh. I appreciate you saying that. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? New Rochelle, New York is great. When it snows up there, it's beautiful. It's a little bit too cold for me, but it's beautiful. I love New Rochelle. I do get to play out there from time to time. Yeah, there are negative people out there. There always were. It just seems like there are more now because since we have to stay in and you have to stay around your immediate family or friends, you pick out the people that suck the most. And they suck the life out of you. I feel like I'm shriveling up. You know, the other night I was getting ready to go on stage and some guy says to me, man, you haven't been able to work in 6 months. Boy, you must be miserable. And I'm like, mister, you just made me miserable. Get the fuck away from me. Why would you say that? And sometimes you can't get away from them. You ever have a conversation with somebody and you feel like going, you gotta get away from me. I hate you. And you can't. You're backed into a corner. But these are the people you need to get away from. Hi, Mike. Big fan from Montreal, Canada. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Please stay in touch. I love all my friends. I love all my fans. And I love all my family. If I didn't have fans, I wouldn't earn a living doing stand-up comedy. So I appreciate you all, especially the people who kicked in on Patreon, people who came to see me and my brother do stand-up in the basement about a week ago. We're going to do it every month now. I'm going to do my podcast continually. We got all brand new sponsors here in 2021. So every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, I will be doing live from my mother's basement, whether I have to do it in a hotel room like this or I do it in the real basement in my hometown of Scotch Plains, New Jersey. As long as I can keep on going and having some fun with you fans, we will never stop the show. I'll bring on some of the most incredible comedians, magicians, celebrities, and people who are doing good shit in the world. I promise you. So keep on watching the show. We're doing it all on YouTube as well. And my YouTube channel, of course, is YouTube/Mike Marino Live. The more subscribers I have, the further I can go. And hopefully this year, 2021, we'll get picked up on Sirius Radio or Amazon or some other stuff like that, and we could definitely make that happen. We love you here in Jersey, and I love you too. You and your brother were awesome. Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate that, Dora. John Vincent, great photographer. I should have you on the show, John. This guy takes the most incredible pictures of just about anything. He's very, very incredible. So we were talking about the New Year's resolution. So anybody else got a resolution? A New Year's resolution. Remember everybody used to say, oh, what's your resolution? And you stuck to it for about 30 days and then it was over. But we got to do it. Now here's something that I wanted to talk about. I don't know how many people are watching right now, but later in the day and later tomorrow and the next day, I can see who continually watches what I say or writes something in or expresses themselves. And then I respond. And I like that. So whether I'm doing it now, live, or whether I'm going to do it in a day or so, it's coming from me. Okay? Thank you so much. Someone just said they love my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. That's why I came up with all the characters like Michelle, Mooney, my Uncle Tommy. I'm going to introduce a few more, so keep on watching. You never know what I'm going to pull out of my sleeve. What happened to romance? That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, I'm a single guy. I have no children. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not dating anybody. I've never been married. I can't go on a singles dating site. I can't put myself on the internet. If I did, trouble's going to happen in lightning speed because someone's going to say, aren't you that guy who's on that show or on that show? So I have to rely on maybe a friend introducing me to somebody, or maybe a relative, or I go to a party, or maybe somebody sees me at a show. It's not very easy to do. So what does anybody do in 2021 if you're single, you're not seeing anybody, you want to go on a dating service, but some of them are a little sketchy, and we're dealing with COVID. So what are you going to do? Wait 2 weeks to go out on a date after you meet somebody on the internet so that it proves that you don't have COVID? Or wait till COVID's over? If you have to wait for COVID to be over, then what does that mean? It could be a year. Imagine not going out on a date for a year. Now I said date, but you know that I meant sex. Imagine going without sex for a year. That could be pretty brutal. So what do you think? Somebody tell me what they think. My New Year's resolution, 1% better than I was last month, every month. Very good. That's cool. Don't do that. Forget the dating sites. Everybody's writing in saying, don't do the dating sites. Forget about it. I might have to forget about it. Have you considered chloroform? All right, Jack, thank you very much. I love people with sense of humor. I can fix you up with a Canadian blonde, 6 foot tall, Marino. Okay. Send me the pictures. Mike, maybe a doll. It would be funny. Me and you both, Mike. See, you know, some people like to kid around. The people who are writing into the show right now who are kidding around are in serious relationships and they don't have no problems, so they don't know what it's like to be single. Then you get the single people who went out on New Year's Eve by themselves and then they went home and they were miserable. And then you got the single people who spent Christmas and New Year's by themselves because you can't get together with people with family members because of the COVID. And there you are. So when you're home and you're lonely and you don't know what to do with yourself because you're not seeing somebody, what do? Anybody know? You reminisce about the person you were last involved with. And you start creating in your head how great that relationship was. And you can't seem to remember what you fought about and why you're not together anymore. And that sucks because you put on the radio and all of a sudden there's this romantic, sad song, baby, come back. Any kind of fool would see, you know, I was wrong and I just can't live without you. And you're like, oh my God, I gotta call my ex-girlfriend. I wonder where we went wrong. It was great. Meantime, you're saying, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, anybody want to write in and comment on this? Because this was happening to a lot of my friends. It was happening to me. Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, I'm like, man, what the hell happened? It was so great. I should make that phone call, see if I can't work it out. But there's also something that holds you back. Like, what if you call and they don't want to talk to you? You're going to feel like a real asshole because not only are you brokenhearted, but you feel like a jerk because you're going to make an ass of yourself. Dude, my girlfriend has a great woman she wants you to meet. No, she's not inflatable. She is real. I'm trying to be serious here for the first episode of the new year, and everybody's clowning around. There had to be a reason. I don't do that, Mike, all the time. I do that, Mike, all the time. Right? Well, we could laugh about it. In fact, we probably should laugh about it because this is what's really going on in the world. Okay, so For my listeners out there who listen to me on the radio, here comes a letter from Frank Mills Miranda. And Frank says, yesterday I saw a gal pulled over on the side of the road, so I stopped to fix her flat. Aside from the twitch, I think she would be a good candidate for you, brother. I just know her 6 kids would love you too. All right. All right. Well, we can't really get into that one. But I just think this is a situation that people are out there thinking about. So, point of the matter, if you have friends out there who you know are not connected, who are romantically busted, maybe you know they're sad about something, don't fix them up with anybody. Don't send them any letters. Don't suggest any music. Give them a call and say, hey man, what are you doing? If you're not doing nothing the other day or someday soon, let's go out and have a cup of coffee. I want to bullshit with you. That's it. You'll probably never have to get together with the person. But the phone call alone will make them happy. Then tell them to go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and laugh a little bit. All right, here's another letter coming in. I married 30 years, and my husband left for a week. Getting crazy. The grass on the other side. He's back. You got to be a little bit more specific because I don't even know what the hell that means. I'm married 30 years and my husband left for a week. Getting crazy. The grass on the other side. He's back. Yeah, okay, well, some of these things just don't make any sense. I guess this lady wants her husband back to cut the lawn. She obviously doesn't live in New Jersey because in New Jersey there's snow on the ground. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Anybody else got any questions before we move on? Oh, somebody said to me the other day, listen to this. I opened the door for a young lady at the club. And I stood there with the door open. And I said, there you go. And she goes, no, that's okay. You can go in. And I said, no, it's not that big of a deal. I got it. And she goes, I can do it myself. So there are the times where we were taught when we were younger, a gentleman gets the door for the lady. A gentleman picks up the tab. Well, this woman obviously didn't believe in chivalry, so I shut the door. And then when she went to come in, I locked it. I told her, you gotta go around. Go around. See? It's not that big of a deal to be nice to people. All right, we need to hear Barbie doll. No, I don't do stand-up routines on here. Don't move on. Dating, forgiveness. Oh, okay. When do you forgive? When do you drop that sword and say, okay, it's cool? I don't know if it's because I'm Italian. I don't know if it's my upbringing, but I find it very hard to forgive because I think people do shit on purpose. And if you do it on purpose, how am I supposed to forgive you? Right? And then they have that thing, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. What the hell does that mean? I'd rather forget and not forgive. But I can't forget. I'm reminded. This is an oxymoron as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how I really feel on it, but there's some people who did me dirty. They did me dirty. I've been robbed. I've been kicked while I was down. People did shit to me. They never did what they said they were going to do. That really makes me mad. I'd rather people say, you know what? I can't give you any money. I'm broke. I'm never going to do it. Rather than talk to somebody who says, you know, I got a lot of money. I'll give you $1 million. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Don't promise people shit that you can't do it. If you can't do it, just say, I'd rather be your friend. I ain't got nothing. That's it. You ever get invited out to dinner and you say to somebody, well, that's a really expensive restaurant. I can't afford that. Nah, I got it. Then you get to the restaurant and you got to pay for almost all of it. That's why I don't go nowhere. Get out of here. So, you know, what would you do in that type of situation? Songs that make you cry. Oh, here's something that I did over the holidays, and this helped me with my soul. Debbie, you listening? I went to visit my mother's grave. A few days before Christmas, old school, big cemetery in North Arlington, New Jersey. Went to go see Mom. Now we had a nice big wreath on the ground for Mom. I lit some candles, said some prayers. It was like a scene out of a scary movie. There was a foot of snow, but I felt good. I felt like everything was okay. I got to talk to my mother, ask her opinion about what's going on in the world, and I feel very cleansed. And I feel like I got everything out that I wanted to get out and talk to her about. And I recommend it. I think everybody should do that. I had some of her jewelry, her costume jewelry, and I put it on the stone. And I lit these candles that are from back in the 40s that she had gotten from one of her friends. And I lit them and I put them on the stone. And I stood there with my dad. We said some prayers. And then we went to a diner. Yeah, felt like it was 1950. I wish we had a big old school black Cadillac. So I think people should do that. I just wanted to come on the air and chit chat for the first episode of Live from My Mother's Basement for the new year. And I'm going to get going already. I'm so glad that everybody wrote in this fast. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them right now. I want to tell you, thank you for last year. Thank you for 2020. Everybody who stayed a fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you for 2019 when we were hitting some big numbers. So I promise you I will do this show every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, which is the East Coast time, live from my mother's basement. There's a real basement with real bars and real antiques from way back in the day. I'll make you think about the good old days. Every last Sunday of the month, I'm going to be doing a show like The Tonight Show. It's going to be Mike Marino and guests, and we're going to have fun, laughter, singing, magic. I'm going to have a Tonight Show that you could all watch for $5. I'll get back to you. You'll see all of that. So if you would, please go to Mike Marino on Patreon, of course, Instagram, Facebook Live, the YouTube channel. It takes a second to subscribe to YouTube. It's free. You don't pay for it. It's free. You hit the red button that says subscribe. You could leave a comment. You could say what you think. You could ask me a question. I don't mind answering the questions. I'm also on Cameo. You want me to wish somebody a happy birthday for you, a Merry Christmas. You want me to tell somebody to go fuck themselves for you? I'll do that too. I just need to get an extra $20 once in a while, and we can make that happen. And if you keep watching the YouTube channel, you'll see the series, Make America Italian Again, because I am going to start filming new episodes. You're going to see Michelle getting crazy. Uncle Tommy's going to sell some really screwed up shit and tell crazy stories. And Mooney will be smoking more marijuana than you know what to do with. So MikeMarino.net. I got to get going. Remember, let's make America Italian again. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By always saying the same thing, and I mean it. Don't take no shit from nobody. Good night. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.